Hello friends! We've got some updates. On the 16th, Cyril posted some Instagram stories, a couple of pictures of the horses. So a serious effort was made by law enforcement and the Falcon Express warriors to get Falcon and old Pete off the road once they got into New Mexico. Unfortunately, law enforcement was ready and waiting in a place that we were told by a spotter that he was going to be, but he wasn't, and the spotter was a fraud and a mole.
That operation was to get Cyril to New Mexico, where law enforcement was waiting for him. So we found a spotter that said she was in the area because she was in Amarillo for the PBR. Okay, this is a Cowboys mom TX messaging Tassie, letting her know they're in Amarillo for the PBR. Except, kind of interesting that according to the PBR schedule on their website, they were in Corpus that weekend. And strangely enough, the last time they were in Amarillo was in March. So this nice woman, who we at this point had already verified was lying to us, immediately after she says she'll come spot for us in Clovis, New Mexico, ghosts. We don't hear hide nor hair from her for a day. What do we hear next? We see the man himself right here calling Tassie out by name on the burner account. Kind of interesting, since only 4 people knew that she was in charge of that burner account. But this wasn't a loss. This was sabotage.
So it's very much a right place, right time. Animal welfare groups, livestock commissioners, branding inspectors, etc. are kind of like everybody that's following this story. Some of them don't give a and some of them really do give a. So it just depends on where he's at, which is why we need confirmed locations at the time of the sighting so that we can send out law enforcement and state animal welfare to the location that he is at the moment he's there. He's been a slippery little to this point, getting into trailers, hiding out in ranches, posting things days after things have happened. You know, for someone who has nothing to hide, he sure is hiding an awful lot. We want confirmation. And we also need to see the condition of the horses and see that they are visibly in a bad way for law enforcement to open that case.
So we hadn't really heard anything from our friend Cyril since about the 16th of May until the 23rd. And he posted on his TikTok and on his Instagram. And then somebody by chance happened to run across him and got another video. And we'll be looking at that real soon.
Why would somebody trailer across a whole state with 2 horses, knowing that there's a state vet exam waiting for them if their horses aren't lame? If you knew that your horses would pass a state vet check, why would you skip that state? Is it possible because you knew that you wouldn't pass that exam? So there's been an unconfirmed sighting on 30 Highway going towards Idaho in Wyoming. This would be directly under Opal, Wyoming. So all the way down, if you look at a map, down onto 30 Highway going northwest. I need Falcon's Warriors. We need to get a confirmed sighting, location, direction of travel, and then we need some video evidence of this horse, of these horses, and their lameness. What is their current condition right now? Hey, if they look great, then there's no problem. If they don't look great, there's a problem. So Falcon's Warriors in the area. Again, that would be southeast side of Idaho, southwest side of Wyoming, and the northeast side of Utah. Anyone in these areas that is able to get eyes, get some video evidence, and send it in. Remember, he is a public figure at this point. It is completely legal for you to film a public figure in a public space. However, it is not legal for you to harass somebody. So do not engage. We just need to let the law enforcement agencies know where he's at and what direction he's traveling in. That is it. Please do not engage. Send all evidence to officialfalconexpress@gmail.com. This is a very valid point. I just want to remind people that just because we have an unconfirmed sighting doesn't mean that he's actually in that area. So we want to make sure that we're still looking out in New Mexico, Oklahoma, Colorado. Keep your eyes peeled just in case he's trying to throw us. We all know that he thinks he's slick. And so it's a possibility until we have an actual confirmed sighting. In the meantime, keep your eyes peeled. And the moment that you do see him, please note the location, direction of travel, the time, and then get any videos that you can of the horse's conditions. We still have all the same people inside the same states. So regardless of where he's at, as long as we know the location, we can send law enforcement out there. We just need to make sure we're not sending them on a wild goose chase. I guess this has to be said quite a few times for everybody to see it or hear it. Nobody's upset about him long riding. In fact, most of us feel this would be quite an adventure if done correctly. If he was doing it with horses that weren't lame, that had been conditioned to do this ride, and that he had done any kind of preparation ahead of time to know where these horses were going to eat, more than just ditch grass, and relying on ranchers to mooch off of. Had he had the correct training and his horses weren't losing weight. Falcon, in case you don't remember, had lost over 250 pounds in just the first 3 weeks of this trip. His top line was completely gone. So it's not about the long riding. It's about the fact that he doesn't know what the hell he's doing, and the horses are the ones that are suffering for it. Even the message, the comment that you put on to that video, if you actually read what she had written that was circled, it was that Pete was being dragged behind Falcon. Pete is not a gaited horse, which means he is not as quick of a walker. Not to mention, he's 20 years old, according to Cyril. So he's deciding to take a lame 20-year-old pack horse plus a lame gaited horse cross country with absolutely no plans on how to care for them. That is what people are upset about. So maybe you don't understand that. I don't know if you're a horse person or not, but people literally train for endurance and long rides for years. They don't buy a $2,000 horse off of Craigslist and get either a free horse or a horse out of a sale barn and immediately put them into a 2,300 mile excursion without the proper equipment. So maybe understand the reason why we're upset. Trailering is not a problem. Man, if I could get him to trailer the entire rest of the way, that is the best of a bad situation. Still very hard on horses, but it's still better than him trying to walk them all the way from Austin, Floydada, all the way to Seattle.
It does seem like quite a relief that he's trailering the horses, but you have to realize that trailering horses is really hard on them. Keep in mind, Cyril posts things days after they've happened, trying to throw people off his track.
After more than a month on the road with Shylock and now Pete, old Pete, we are now finally in Oklahoma. And you know, something they really don't tell you about Oklahoma is how absolutely gorgeous it is. I mean, look at this.
So what you're saying is that John Denver is full of shit, man, and so are you. You're a fraud. If there's nothing else that we accomplish out of this, other than the fact that you're going to now trailer across states to avoid the laws of man, honestly, I'm not mad about it. It's still a win in the end of the day. You can get out in your little spots, take a little video of you going in circles, and send it on in. We'll see how far that gets you at Netflix.
You know, I'm just a lowly horse trainer. I'm not a vet. But even I know that shit don't look right. Come on. And here's a normal horse for reference of what that area is supposed to look like.
This looks really bad. Something is terribly wrong, and for him to not take accountability and be in denial about the fact that his horses are hurt and have medical issues that need to be taken care of by a professional, it really says a lot about him. Nothing we didn't already know. And who is filming his videos for him? Hope you got something from today's video. Go ahead and subscribe if you want to. It's free. You can leave me a like and a comment. I do read all my comments. So until next time, y'all take care.